Dear family, it is I, Kira, your long-lost and most beloved relative. It has come to my attention that, since I moved away and became a fan of Teen Wolf, you all seem to have stopped taking me seriously, and I know that you used to take me very seriously. Consequently, since I can't be there to share the joy with you in person, and because it will amuse me greatly, I have decided to proceed to deliver to you this very important information, instructing you with the sultry sound of my voice and some occasional shots of this face that I know that you all miss so much, and also Teen Wolf. Check this out.
Yeah, whoa. It was too dark to see much, but I'm pretty sure it was a wolf. A wolf bit you.
Okay, so it's not a difficult premise to grasp. Scott is a sucky teenage human with a sarcastic friend and a life set to a slammin' MTV soundtrack until he takes an ill-advised trek in the woods, gets bit, and wolfs out. Congratulations, Scott, you're the Teen Wolf. While Scott is delighted that his newfound wolf powers make him totally rad at lacrosse and score him a date with the hella babin' new girl, he's kinda bummed out by the fact that he's developed a tendency to lose control and turn into a fugly-ass homicidal wolf boy with sideburns. And then there's his new lady friend's ridiculously hot dad, a werewolf hunter.
Her dad shot me, Allison's father, with a crossbow.
What's a poor teen wolf to do?
Hey, we'll get through this. Come on, if I have to, I'll chain you up myself on full moon nights and feed you live mice. I had a boa once, I could do it.
Don't worry though, Scott eventually gets through his head that, shockingly, there are more important things than lacrosse and dating hotties, and way scarier things out in the night than an incredibly attractive father with a deadly weapon. There are werewolves gallivanting about the countryside leaving ominous spirals on things, and you are living in a bit of a supernatural creature hotspot there, Scotty boy.
It's like a frickin' Halloween party every full moon.
As the seasons go by, things move significantly away from the teen drama element and lean more heavily on the wolfy horror part. And it is good.
Are you real?
Not yet.
Okay, so you've got Scott, who is a bit of an idiot but also a big lovable goofball, so we forgive him for it.
I'm the hot girl.
Yes, you are.
And then there's Stiles, Scott's best friend.
You know, you're my best friend, you're a creature of the night, it's kind of like a priority of mine.
Everyone loves Stiles. Stiles is smart and hilarious.
So you lied to me.
That depends on how you define lying.
Well, I define it as not telling the truth. How do you define it?
Reclining your body in a horizontal position?
Pro tip, don't love Stiles. You will get emotionally invested, and then things will get serious, and you will get sad. Scott and Stiles are adorable, though.
And I also gotta say, this newfound heroism is making me very attracted to you. Shut up. No, seriously. Do you want to just try making out for a sec?
Scott's aforementioned lady friend is Allison, and she's a badass. Her family are the Argents, most of whom you may recognize from all your favorite sci-fi shows, and most of whom appear to be in competition to see who can be the most violently sociopathic. Come on! All except for Hot Dad, who is actually a pretty decent dude trying to do the right thing. Hot Dad likes to shoot stuff, menacingly perform mundane tasks, and talk about rabid dogs and the code. Turns out werewolf hunters have a moral code to govern their werewolf hunting. Not that any of them besides Hot Dad seem to care. Which leads me to the most important part. Derek.
With me, you learn how to use all of your senses. With me, you learn control.
Derek's dead family know all about how nasty werewolf hunters are. Derek is a not-quite teen wolf, and he's sad and angry and lonely all the time because his life is completely terrible to the point that you could pretty much rename the show Nothing Good Ever Happens to Derek. He tries to teach foolish young wolves how to werewolf like a pro, the first rule of which is apparently purchase awesome leather jacket, but he also has awful people skills and a fantastic habit of Dereking around, appearing and disappearing suddenly, staring creepily, and freaking people out.
You scared the crap out of me!
Not yet.
He likes to tell folks that he's not going to help them and he doesn't care if they die,
I'm gonna kill both of you!
but the fact that he always shows up to help out and save them from imminent death suggests otherwise. Basically, he's a really complicated emotional disaster of a character with a slammin' bod, a cool tat, and a penchant for doing flips, and you know that's my favourite kind of thing. When I say Derek's the most important part, though, I don't just mean because he's breathtakingly gorgeous or super interesting as an individual. I mean, Scott may be the main character, but he's flying by the seat of his wolf pants and pretty much just reacting to situations he finds himself in, whereas the bulk of the plot tends to be in some way either directly or inadvertently related to Derek in its inception, development, and or resolution.
Why'd you do this to us, Derek? Was it all about the power?
Scott deals with situations. Derek is probably the reason that there's a situation in the first place. In a good way. Sort of. When I say he's a complicated disaster, I mean it.
Either you cut off my arm, or I'm gonna cut off your head.
Okay, you know, I'm so not buying your threats anymore. Oh my god, okay. Alright, boss, sold, totally, I'll do it.
Then there's Jackson, who's kinda your typical nasty rich jock guy who's totally sus on what the fuck is going on with Scott right from the get-go, and who actually turns out to have a lot more going on than expected.
I don't deserve it.
Also, almost all the most fucked up shit on this show is the shit that Jackson hallucinates, but I'm not going to show you any of that because it's a special gruesome surprise. Lydia is Jackson's girlfriend, and she's also got way more going on than the vapid facade she's putting out there, and basically she's fabulous, and it's a good idea to assume any character on this show who appears to be a stereotype is probably way more layered than they let on. This is Danny, and Danny doesn't know anything about the supernatural shit going on, but everyone loves Danny because he's awesome. And this is Coach. There are quite a few psychotic characters on this show, and Coach is one of them.
I don't know about you, but the last time it was that cold and I was running around naked, I lost a testicle to exposure.
Actually, there are heaps of characters as you go on, like Isaac, and Erica, and Boyd, and Scott's mum, and Stiles' dad, and Scott's boss, Dr. Deaton, and Matt, and Cora, and Kira. Yes, Kira. And Jennifer, and Deucalion, and Carly, and the Murder Twins, who I only mention because one is Ethan, and the other one is infinitely douchier, and his name is Aiden. No one loves the Murder Twins. Anyway, so it's no secret there's a certain cheesy, silly element to the show. Embrace that fact, my brethren. Embrace the pulpy awesomeness of the teenage werewolf show, with its slow-mo and its fight scenes and its delightful amount of male shirtlessness. Embrace these things and bear with it, and you'll find there's actually a pretty great and extremely entertaining show hiding in there.
Okay, see this? It's maybe 3 inches of room to gather enough force to punch through solid...
Unlike most things of this sort, Teen Wolf isn't using the dreadfully tacky old cliche of lycanthropy as a metaphor for puberty. Thematically, it's more about familial or pack relations, and you'll know I am 100% here for the detailed dynamics of character relationships.
Yeah, they won't let me see him because I'm not family. I told them he doesn't have any.
He's got us.
That, and all the fun supernatural stuff, and figuring out who the bad guys are and who to trust, and everyone wanting to kill everyone.
You remember that, when he was trying to kill you? After you interrupted him trying to kill Jackson? Are you starting to see a pattern of violent behavior here?
Especially, there's one other guy that I can't tell you about because that is such a spoiler.
I heard there was a party.
But he's sassy and hilarious as fuck and completely shady, and no one should trust him ever, and I am way more terrified by what his big plans are than I am of anything else because he's fabulous. And trust me, you will know him when you see him.
I still don't like him.
Nobody likes him.
The seasons are only 12 episodes long, so the story hangs pretty tight and moves quickly. And you're having a great old time, and then it starts getting complicated, and serious stuff happens.
Help me!
And then it's sad, and people have feelings. And events transpire, and you have to deal with Gerard.
Something wicked this way comes.
And ritual sacrifices, and people messing with Danny, and doing horrific things in Derek's bitchin' loft. And then it's like... You realise you're on an awesome roller coaster of absolute what the fuckery, and by the time you catch up to me, you're watching with your hands all up in your face, and the fear for the safety of your favourite characters deep down in your soul parts. And I don't want to talk about the chessboard. And sometimes there's bad CGI, or some hilarious wolf running on all fours, or a baddie yelling something way more dramatically than necessary.
Mountain Ash!
But on balance, it's extremely worth the pulpy elements to enjoy the joy that is Teen Wolf.
If he does anything,
Like?
anything weird, bizarre, anything evil.
I fucking love this show. Plus, it has so much gay. Gay, gay, gay. Glorious amounts of gay.
That one's paid for.
And the last time I saw a show that was this comfortable with homosexuality or just positive sexuality in general, especially teen sex not being treated like the end of the world.
I don't want a boyfriend. I want a distraction.
The last time I saw a show that was this comfortable with that was never. So if none of that sounds like something you would totally watch the crap out of and love, I don't even know what's wrong with you, and you should never talk to me ever again. I mean, there's Japanese glowbug spirits and magic dust and Tyler Hoechlin. You know I would never lead you astray, family, and the city air hasn't warped me just yet. Watch Teen Wolf. Join the pack.
Dance, everybody! Just dance! It's a dance! It's a party!